Burger King knew that America loved the Whopper, but wanted to prove it. So it turned to Facebook and put the love to the test. Everybody loves adding friends, but is that simply because it's fun to see your friend list pile up? Well, what if there was a way to dump friends and get rewarded for it? And what if this turned into a race to dump them before they dumped you? Meet Whopper Sacrifice. Delete 10 friends and receive a free Whopper. A true moral dilemma, a telling choice. What do you love more, your friends or the Whopper? A difficult question to answer, or was it? Almost instantly, people were sacrificing their friends for Whoppers like crazy, to the tune of 200,000 friends sacrificed in just over a week. And people's burning desire to dump friends for the Whopper challenged the very concept of Facebook. Instead of embracing this new marketing opportunity and the 35 million free media impressions it received, Facebook began limiting its functionality, ultimately forcing Burger King to take it down. Whopper's sacrifice had been sacrificed. But despite the application's short-lived activation, Burger King proved what it knew to be true, that Americans love the Whopper more than they like their friends. Thanks for watching.
So that's advertising inside of a social network. It's classic brand broadcasting with no conversation taking place. But you can't just advertise in social networks effectively by dropping a banner. It needs to tie into the utility of the network itself and potentially even meet a user need. So the user need that was being met here is this notion of wanting to kind of prune your Facebook presence and probably a little bit bloated to these people you don't really know. And Whopper Sacrifice provided that opportunity. There's a book that came out called Free that essentially created a valuation for Facebook based on Whopper Sacrifice and said, all right, Facebook has, the average person has 100 friends, but it's sort of you have to accept a friend in order to create one. So really you can only control sort of 50% of your presence. You control half of your presence. So that's 50 people per user. And the price of a Whopper is $2.40. So essentially, each individual on Facebook creates $12 worth of Whopper transactions at a max. And so if you take the total population of Facebook, 150 million times $12, creates a valuation of $1.8 billion. And it turned out that it's a little bit low. I mean, it depends who you ask. I would say it's a little bit high, but it's a little bit low given some of the more recent valuations for Facebook. But ultimately, this is something that's in the Hall of Fame, a good example of brand broadcast. So brand conversation, this is where it gets more interesting. We're actually having a conversation. Same notion, it's a brand, no face, but it's two-way dialogue. So it's a huge opportunity for product innovation. Crowdsourcing is something that's being talked about a lot. Brands taking opportunities, challenges within an organization, and essentially sending it out to the crowd to come back with solutions. Research, no question that brand conversation allows you to sort of turn the whole notion of a focus group on its head and do it in a very different way. And then a ton of opportunities for customer service. So the one that I put in the Hall of Fame is a recent example with Crispin on a client of ours called Brem, who make electric motorcycles. And they came to us in sort of a non-traditional way. We had interns that we had each summer. They come in and do projects, and we put the intern group on eBay for sale, so to speak, to actually buy their services for the project for the summer. And so the auction went on for a couple of days, and this organization, Bramo, was the winner. I think they paid like $15,000 to have the interns do their project. And so what ended up happening over the long run is that Bramo wanted to rebrand itself, so to speak, with a new identity. And so we posted a contest on this site called CrowdSwing to design the identity for the organization. And so over 700 logos were submitted. Winners were awarded a $1,000 prize. And it's a great example of the power of crowdsourcing. It's also somewhat controversial, and especially to this group that we have designers in, this whole notion of taking what used to be a trade that full organizations specialized in and just sending it out to the crowd for $1,000 to come back with the logo. There was a ton of discussion on that. And in fact, there was a group that organized a protest about this. And their protest was held on Twitter using a hashtag that was picked up by essentially our website, and our website's picking up everything related to our clients. So our homepage essentially hosted a protest about us doing this project. And so ultimately the story there is that everyone got it. The website is a media outlet, and they used the media outlet to drive their own message, and it was there for all to see. Individual broadcast. So this is basically what a lot of CEOs or C-level executives are doing in an effort to humanize their brand, create authenticity, and to sort of show the trustworthy human side. It's probably a missed opportunity because an individual should never really just be broadcasting. We should be having a conversation. But undoubtedly, it's created some pretty amazing results. And one thing, we certainly were not involved in the Obama campaign, but there's no question that when you look at the individual broadcast Hall of Fame, the Obama campaign is the top. And essentially the reason Obama won is that he was able to bring people into his campaign and energize them in a way that hadn't been done before, using all of the outlets, iPhone, Facebook, Twitter, blogs, and then through all those outlets creating an additional micro lending or micro donation opportunity, which is also why he was able to raise more money than any other campaign. The last quadrant here is individual conversation. So this is the fourth largest country in the world, there's no question. This is reviews, this is recommendations, this is word of mouth marketing, this is opportunities for loyalty programs. And as we saw in that little video, the whole notion of a friend recommendation versus an ad, there's just no question. 90% of people actually believe a recommendation over time. And so tons of opportunity here. The individual conversational Hall of Fame is I'm calling the 12th place. We're going to find ours Best Buy. And actually this story comes from, the idea for this service, which I'll describe in a second, comes from a different client, which is Domino's. There was a couple months ago, there was a video posted on YouTube by a Domino's employee making a sandwich. And he farts on the sandwich and then basically delivers it to be served. And so within days, Domino's sales were being affected. And it was a pretty big deal. So, the whole idea there is that everyone can create. You can even create content within your organization and hurt your own organization. So that guy, as I've heard described, was probably just pretty poor. And so there's an opportunity to maybe create an outlet for some of these people in organizations to be part of that process and channel that in a positive way. So the idea for Best Buy is this notion of the 12th force. So it's a play on Twitter, help force, 12th force. Best Buy has 150,000 what are called blue shirts. And people, when you walk into the store, they're going to service you and provide you their electronics expertise, passionate group. So what we did is we created this Twitter alias 12th force where people can actually just send questions to the 12th force and you just get inundated with answers. And so this is sort of the entire organization tapping into a customer service channel and having these individual conversations. And so the way the campaign
Hello. I'm finally going to get a flat panel at my home theater. Thank you. What should I get? You.
You should check out our new LED. The picture's better than mine.
Okay, but I don't want to pay too much.
Don't worry about it. We'll match with them at your prices. And we'll deliver and hook it up for free.
Okay, last question. If you guys are here, who's in the stores?
The latest home theater technology and thousands of people eager to help. Best Buy, buyer passion.
So pretty simple. The commercial is a metaphor, obviously, for the 12th force and the actual service, and it's another one of those exciting examples of TV pointing to a utility on the web. And so the 12th force has continued. It's no longer just a campaign. It's now part of the customer service channel and part of the pre-shop and sales channel of Best Buy, and undoubtedly a differentiator. The holiday campaign that we have coming up is going to play a lot on the 12th force in a holiday way. So we're excited to see that.